Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Dancing Knights. And the Airthings Finals has finished. And we've got one winner. Who is it, Radjabov or Aronian? You'll find out in this video. So, in Finals Day 1, this position had occurred between Maxime versus Dubov. This was for the third and fourth place match. And this was round number 1 in Finals Day 1. And it is black to play, and can you find the best move? I'll flip the board for you guys. Here, the best move which Dubov found is rook takes f3. Because black must create something. After all these pieces are developed on their ideally placed, on their best squares, like this bishop on e7, it cannot go that well because of these pawns which are on dark squares. So the best square for the bishop is here only. And maybe h4, but we don't know if the bishop would want to go to c5 or h4. So we can't really decide right now. And other than that, all pieces of black are ideally placed. So we should go straight. Rook takes f3, bang. Okay, if something like rook to f6, this is too slow, if you said that. Because knight g1 and white is able to defend against black's attack. As okay, white's pieces may look a bit passive, but black cannot do anything to take advantage of that. So rook takes f3 happened in the game, which Dubov found. And okay, g takes f3, rook takes f3, rook g1, queen to f7, rook g2, bishop h4, king g1, b6, queen e2, knight takes a4, and knight to f5. So white has just played his knight to f5. How should black respond? White is giving a free piece. Should he capture it? Should he capture the rook? Or should he do something else? So here, the best move, the brilliant move is actually e takes f5. Black should willingly accept the sacrifice, knowing that he'll lose the rook. And after that, d takes e3 is actually winning. Because if b takes e3, then knight takes e3 attacking the rook. Something like rook to e1 and knight d4 attacking the queen. Where can the queen go? Only one square, which is to e3. And after f4, the white queen is trapped in the center of the board, as the queen cannot go to d2 because of knight f3 check. And this is a dancing knight fork. Those brilliant knights on d4 and c3 are simply just terrorizing. Dancing knights they are. Okay, but in the game, black played rook takes f2. If you said bishop takes f2 check, it kind of leads to the same consequence. After rook takes f2, rook takes f2, queen takes f2, and the same thing same position arises in the board. So rook takes f2, rook takes f2, bishop takes f2, queen takes f2, and e takes f5. And okay, black did win the game very comfortably, but an even easier way to win was e takes f5. And in game 2 of the third and fourth match, MVL made a kind of strange king move from king e8 to d7 when he didn't have to. Maybe it was a misclick, maybe not. And Dubov won that game as well. On the other hand, for the fight for the first place, first game was a tepid draw, and the second one was also the same. And both players were playing really solidly, and they came well prepared for it. Okay, next game which I have prepared for you guys is in the third round of Finals Day 1. It's Maxime versus Dubov. And so here, third round, right now Dubov is actually 2-0 up. And Maxime has to win both the set 2 games to at least tie the level against Dubov. So here Dubov has just played a very strange sacrifice in which actually all his pawns get weak. So how can white try to do that? How should white continue? Pause the video. Here, if you said rook takes e4, you were absolutely wrong because d5, knight takes e5, d takes e4, and knight takes c6 this is a very dubious option, and black would be slightly better, I think, because after b takes c6, bishop takes e6, f takes c6. Fine, black has really bad pawn structure, but for that, black is an exchange up and also a pawn up. And this would be just the position which Dubov would love to play as black, and he was playing as black. So this is not the best move. Okay, d takes e4, bishop takes c4, just loses a pawn for white, so no need to calculate that. So knight takes e4 is the only good move after process of elimination. If bishop takes e6 here, same thing, knight takes e3, attacking the queen. Bishop takes f7, rook takes f7, and b takes e3. Okay, this is an option which is possible, but that doesn't really create anything for white because white just got his pawns doubled, and black would be quite happy after this transaction as black has this open f-file. So knight takes e4, knight takes e4 is the only good move which Maxime found. And d5, bishop b5, d takes e4, bishop takes e6, b takes e6, knight takes e5, e takes d3, knight takes c6, attacking the queen, d takes c2, attacking the queen again, queen takes e2, queen d7, and bishop f4. And now, if you would compare this position with this position, you could clearly see that white has a significant advantage as white's knight is brilliantly placed. White has really good piece play with space and activity. Rook on e1, such a great piece. Rook on a1 coming to d1, attacking the queen. And black's pawn structure is really weakened. Like this pawn on a7 and c7, they were just too weak. As the bishop on f4 is attacking one, and the queen on c2 is going to attack c7. And black just can't do anything. And Maxime won this game very easily. And after the third game in the first set, it was 2-1 to Dubov. And okay, this was the fourth game, Dubov versus Maxime. And in the third round of Radjabov versus Aronian, it was another draw. Another simple draw, and both of them were playing solidly. They had their opening preparation correct, so no need to think about that. So in the fourth game, this position had occurred, and I just want to ask you one question. What is the evaluation of this position? Is white better? Is it equal? Or is black better? Pause the video now if you need more time. Here, black is completely better. Why? Well, b3 happened. So this was the game continuation. King f2, bishop f6. And these two bishops are simply amazing. They're controlling all the squares the bishop could do. And they're controlling the next few squares of the pawn. Pawn to b2, pawn to b1. These two important squares the bishops are controlling. Knight b2, b2. Knight e4, bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop to g5. What's the idea? Well, the bishop wants to come to c1 followed by b1 queen. Just wanting to come an interference between the rook and the pawn promotion. Rook b1, and now bishop to c1. And now the rook is completely out of the game. And now it's simply like a pawn endgame in which black is clearly better. He has 3 pawn islands, but black has more good activity like e6, e5, and this king cannot come to e3, which is a really important square for it. King to e2, king to e6, king to d3, king to e5, g3, h5, h3, f6, h4, and f5, and black makes the breakthrough. And after capture, king d4 and king g4, black wins these 2 pawns, and then win the game. As here, and white cannot stop these pawns from promoting. Simply marvelous by Maxime. Just how his endgame technique, it was simply brilliant. He was a exchange down just for a pawn, but because of his two brilliant bishops, he won the game. And that's how he had tied this first set up 2-2 to Dubov and Maxime. And for the first game, for the first place match, Radjabov won the fourth game, but it was really hard to understand where Aronian made the mistake. And Radjabov won it, and he won the first set as well. So let's move on to the second set, which was played on day 2. And this is second game of Radjabov versus Aronian in finals day number 2. And this position was arose from this game. And Radjabov from here played Radjabov simply marvelously with brilliant accuracy. His plan was amazing. So first, he wanted to defend all the pawns properly so that black could not attack any of them. Second, he tried to push all his pawns to create weaknesses in the opponent's camp and so that he can attack them. Third, he got the pieces to ideal positions where they can do lots of things such as attack the rook, attack the king, attack the pawns. And fourth step, he tried to capture those weaknesses. So let's see his plan in action. A3, first he played. Rook A8, Rook A1. Why A3 first? Why not something like G4? Well, now again, Rook A8, Rook A1, and this time Rook to A3. And now because this pawn is on a light square, this black bishop can attack it easily because this black's bishop is on a light square as well. On the other hand, our bishop or white's bishop is on a dark square. So we should first try to put all the pawns on dark squares. So that's why A3 first. Rook A8, Rook to A1, defending the pawn. So Rook to A6, and now step 1 is complete. We have defended all our pawns because this C3 pawn cannot be attacked by anyhow. Next step, we need to push the pawns to create weaknesses. Let's see it in action. G4, King E6, H4, King D5, H5. And step 2 complete. We want that this pawn on H7 should be on H6 so that the bishop can attack it. Black played E5. And I think that's not the best move because black shouldn't really push his pawns. Instead, he should keep them on light squares such as on E6, where the black bishop can defend it if needed. But he played E5. Bishop E3. So now we need to get the pieces to ideal positions. Rook A8, Bishop G5. King E6, Bishop H4. King D5, King E3. King E6, Rook A2. So white is just playing a bit of necessary moves, and also he's just wanting to gain more time as they would be less on time at that position. And King D5, Bishop E7. King E6, Bishop to B4. H6, and now Rook to B2. Step 3 complete. The white rook is on an ideal position which can attack B5. The bishop on B4 is perfectly placed, defending these two pawns. And now step 4 is to capture those weaknesses. What are the two weaknesses which you have come up with? The pawn on B5 and the pawn on H6. This is also known as the method of two weaknesses. Bishop to H7, King to F2, Bishop D3, Bishop C5. So the bishop needs to go to E3 to attack H6. King D5, Bishop E3. Okay, he couldn't have taken on B5 because of King to C6, and now the rook and one of the pieces have to go. So he played Bishop E3, attacking the H6 pawn. And if rook takes A3, Bishop takes H6, and now the problem is white has two passed pawns. So okay, that played King C6, so defending the B5 pawn. Okay, Rook a2, so defending the a3 pawn, and now e4 he tried, but bishop takes h6, and step 4 complete. And now white has won a pawn, and soon he will win the game. And okay, black tried to promote his c pawn, but he really couldn't do so because the bishop on c1 was really goodly placed, which was stopping the promotion of the pawn. And okay, white did give his bishop and then to promote his queen, and black promoted his queen as well. How can white continue here? White to play and give the finishing touch. Here, the best move is rook takes b1 check, bang. Queen takes b1, queen b8 check, king moves somewhere, and queen takes b1, and white is completely winning. And that's how Radjabov clinched the victory. And after another tepid draw, Radjabov won the Airthings Masters, going straight into the finals of Champions Chess Tour. Aronian came second, and now let's see what happened in the third and fourth game. Third and fourth place match. So Maxime versus Dubov, it was the fourth game, and it was tied 1-1, 1-1. Maxime won the first game, and then they drew the second game, and then Dubov won the third game, followed by now Maxime. Maxime got a actually really good position from the start, as he got good space, a5, b5, these two pawns are really good. Black bishop on b7 is not really doing anything. Black's bishop on a7 is quite goodly placed, but it's not really like attacking any weaknesses. So, okay, white got his pieces organized properly, and then he just exchanged the good bishop on a7 for the bad bishop on c1, a normal technique used in top level games. And now white played a really stunning rook takes c5 sacrifice, and b takes c5, knight takes b8, rook takes b8. Same material, but white has really good activity. And wow, black tried to promote his pawn, queen d2, rook b8 check, king h7, and now the last position for you, mate in 7. Can you find it? Hard one, but yeah. Here, queen g8 check, first of all, has to be played. King g6, queen e6 check next. So, okay, now, if king h7, then queen f5 check, followed by queen f7 checkmate. Okay, king g5, queen takes e5 check, king g6, queen e6 check again, king g5, and now the rook can give a check on b5. So queen d5, rook takes d5, king h4, queen g4, checkmate. And Maxime won this game and got third place after this game. Dubov got fourth place, and overall it was a brilliant game by Dubov as he beat Magnus Carlsen in the quarterfinals. And Radjabov played brilliantly as well. He did not lose a single game in the semifinals or the finals. And this is the final standings. So Radjabov is at 91 points, and he has gone straight into the finals of Champions Chess Tour because he won the major tournament. So Airthings Masters was a major tournament. And yeah. Okay, Wesley So has 62 points because he won the Skilling Open. If you need to see videos of that, check my YouTube channel. I've got videos of that as well. And Levon Aronian got 60 points. He was second place. Magnus got 50 points because he was second place in the last one. And yep, this is it. Airthings Masters completed. Radjabov winning it. And yeah, hope you liked my video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, click the like button and do subscribe to my channel and share it with others. Bye. Thank you.